Hi everybody, it's Carol. How are ya? I'm pretty good. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the shirt my sister sent me. In a video, maybe 2 videos back, I told you she mailed this to me just out of the blue. She said she saw it and she thought it looked just like me. And it does. I told you because of my childhood on Route 66 and the neon colors being so beautiful that neon colors, jewels, gemstone colors are my favorites. And that's pretty much what these colors are. This is patterned after a serape. I'll tell you about serapes another time. And on it is the symbol, the sun symbol. Now this symbol, the circle and the 4 points with 4 lines, is has become the symbol of New Mexico. It's on absolutely everything. It's on license plates, the palace of the governors, anything government, anything materialistic that can be sold relating to New Mexico. Everything has the Zia symbol on it. I went to Zia Elementary. This symbol means New Mexico now, but it didn't always. I'm going to tell you where this came from. There is a pueblo about 50 miles northwest of Albuquerque called Zia Pueblo. The Zia Native Americans live there. Okay. Archaeologists believe that the Zia people migrated down from Mesa Verde. They believe they were part of that tribe, and they just ventured down farther and landed where Zia Pueblo is now. They think that they have been there since, I wonder if I wrote it down. Hang on. Something like 1300. Shoot, I should have written that down and I didn't. Anyway, they've been there forever and a day. They were doing fine. Then Spain decided to send explorers to this part of the world and wanted to claim this land as theirs. The Spanish explorer discovered them in like the mid 1500s, and within 30 years, Spain, they found it, and so they said, "This is mine," even though people lived there. Anyway, within 30 years, the Franciscans had come, and there were Spanish settlements everywhere, and they just took over. In fact, they outlawed the Zia Pueblo Indians' religious ceremonies. Why do people feel like you can go in and just say, all of a sudden, "Oh, this is mine," and you can't do that anymore? Even if you were here first. But not going there. Not going there. My son told me don't ever talk about politics or religion, so I'm trying not to. But anyway, Spain did conquer this part of the world for a while. They didn't always see eye to eye with the Zia people. There was a lot of conflict, and eventually there was a big battle, and the Spaniards almost wiped out the tribe. There was very few left. But I think it took like 60 years or so, a lot of years anyway. They rebuilt themselves, and the other pueblos in the area joined with them to run the Spaniards out, which they did. And when they did that, the Zia Pueblo and the other pueblos took their horses, and now they had horses. Anyway, Zia Pueblo has been there forever and a day. We know since at least 1532, 1582, something like that. I know it was 15 and ended with the 2. Anyway, we know the Pueblo was already built at that time. Archaeologists think it had been there, I think they said 600 years before then. I don't know, but a long time ago. Okay. The sun symbol is very sacred to them. They used it on pottery that they used in their religious ceremonies. This was sacred to them. This is like a cross would be to Christians, or the Star of David would be to Jewish people. This was sacred to them. An anthropologist from the Smithsonian Institute came to this area and studied these people in the late 1800s. He and his wife came and they counted 97 people living in this tribe. And so they thought they were going to become extinct, and they tried to gather up all the artifacts they could to preserve, because they thought these people were going to die out. Well, that anthropologist, I've forgotten his name, wanted a piece of pottery that had this sun symbol on it. And the elders told him no, that was sacred to them, that he could not have it. So what did he do? He stole it. He wrote that, and he wrote a book later in his life, and he admitted he stole the piece of pottery with the sun symbol on it. Well, somehow that piece of pottery ended up in the laboratory for anthropology in Santa Fe. Years later, the curator was Dr. Harry Mara. Well, New Mexico had become a state in 1912, and for at least 10 years after that, we didn't have a state flag. And so the DAR decided to have a contest for people to design a flag for New Mexico. They had like 5 rules, and I can't remember them all, but I know one was it could be no more than 3 colors, that it had to be simple enough that elementary children could draw it, and it had to reflect the shape of the state or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's the gist of it. Had to be simple and no more than 3 colors. Did you know most United States state flags have the color blue in them? I think there's only 4, including New Mexico, that doesn't have blue. Well, anyway, so this is roughly 1925, I think. They had this contest. Dr. Mara saw this sun symbol on the piece of pottery in the laboratory for anthropology, and he told his wife about it. They designed a flag. She embroidered this on it, or sewed it on there. He picked the colors yellow and maroon because they were the predominant colors on the Spanish flag at that time. And they won. They won $25. And from that point on, the sun symbol has become representative of New Mexico. It's on absolutely everything. T-shirts, any kind of anything. I went to Zia Elementary. The Zia symbol is on everything, commercial, everything, government, just everything. Well, anyway, so how'd it get on that pot? Well, the anthropologist, I told you, stole it, and it ended up in that museum. That's where Dr. Mara saw it. Did he ask the Zia Pueblo people if he could use their sacred symbol? No. No, he didn't. Has anybody asked if they could use the symbol, their sacred symbol? Not until recent time. This represents father-son to the Zia people. Zia people believe in Father, Son, and Mother Earth. The circle in the middle represents life and love, and then it has 4 points going out. And these represents 4 things that were very important to the Zia people, which were the directions of the wind, directions on a compass, directions of the wind, the 4 seasons of the year, the 4 stages of life, which was childhood, youth, adult, and elder. And then the 4 periods of each day, which would be morning, noon, afternoon, and night. Also, the number 4 is very sacred to the Zia people. they have 4 sacred obligations. And that is to develop a strong body, a pure mind, a pure spirit, and devotion to the welfare of everyone more than the devotion to yourself. As a child, or now, the school children salute the flag of New Mexico in the mornings. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico and the Zia symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures. If I were a Zia Indian, I don't think I would quite think it was perfect friendship. But anyway, because they took their symbol. Anyway, at the time Dr. Mara designed the flag and used the sacred symbol, the Zia people didn't speak English. They were considered to not have rights. They couldn't vote. They were treated poorly. And so they didn't have the means or the knowledge to understand what was happening with their sacred sign at the beginning. But later they did. And they were very disheartened. Let me stop. I have brain fog a lot. Sorry. Hit the tripod. People that suffer with depression often have brain fog, where our brains just don't, our minds go faster than our mouth can speak, and we think of things that we can't find the right word for. That happens all the time. My daughter Casey has fibromyalgia and depression, and she has brain fog a lot. For instance, the last video, when I was showing you my favorite bathroom things, and I was talking about my shower head that was on I said, this cord is not long enough for me. That's not a cord, that's a hose. I kept calling it a cord. It's a hose. Casey and I do that kind of thing all day long. We just have to figure out what each other's talking about. And we're pretty good at deciphering it. But moving back to the subject, I don't even know where I was. The Native Americans from the Zia tribe were very disheartened that their sacred symbol was being used on everything. And in the 1990s, the tribal leaders tried to trademark it so that they can control what it was on. Because of the trademarking laws, they could not. They said any symbol that appears on a state flag cannot be trademarked. So that was out. So they demanded that the state of New Mexico pay them $1 million for every year their symbol had appeared on the state flag. At that time, it was over $70 million. Oh, the state didn't pay it. The tribe didn't file a lawsuit, but that gained a lot of attention of where this symbol came from and what it really means. Now, as a courtesy, many people ask for permission to use the Zia symbol, but the Zia Pueblo people make no money off of anything that it's on. Well, anyway, that's that story. I love this t-shirt. I will treat it with respect. I will not dribble chili all down the front of this sacred symbol. I will take care of it, and I love it. And I love these jewel tone colors. Thank you, my dear sister, for sending it to me. Okay, guys, that's the story about the Zia symbol. And Zia is not a Native American word. The Spaniards, when the Spanish explorers discovered the Zia Pueblo, the Zia people called this one, the biggest pueblo, a word I can't pronounce. And I guess the Spaniards couldn't either, so they named it Zia, and then they became the Zia people. Zia is a Hebrew word that means ant. So there you go. Everybody thinks Zia is a Native American word. No. Oh, and this is the shape of the state. Oh, let me look up the state flag. I'll show you. Just because I know what it looks like doesn't mean everybody does. The name of the state is New Mexico. It became a state in 1912. Well, the state is in the lower southwest portion of the United States. I'm trying to type this in real quick. If you cross the border to the south, if you cross the state line to the south, you're in Mexico. So probably the state was named after Mexico, right? No, wrong. Mexico wasn't a country at this time. When the Spanish explorers came, colonized this area, they called it New Spain. And then at some point, I don't know the story of that. I know it was changed to New Mexico because of an Aztec tribe of Indians way south that lived in what's called the Valley of Mexica, with an A on the end. That's where Mexico came from. It was from that tribe of Indians in the area where they lived. There's a Gulf of Mexico, not Gulf of Mexico, not that area. This is something separate. Well, anyway, let me see if I can show you the state flag. Oh, come on. There it is. That is the state flag right there. And I don't know if I told you. I may have told you, I may not have. Dr. Mara chose these colors, burgundy and yellow, because they were the predominant colors on the Spanish flag. That's how those colors came about. So, there you go. I'll talk to you later. Please leave me a comment. That's how friends on YouTube communicate, is you leave me a comment. I love to hear from you. Whether you tell me what the temperature in your home is, or what you're doing, or what you're feeling, just anything. Leave me a comment. If you can, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Oh, and I've told you about the YouTube channel Grandma DC. Her name is Elise Keith. She's the lady with cancer that has gone 5 months without treatment because she can't get treatment. Today, she had her first round of chemo. If you so desire, go over to Grandma DC's channel and tell her we're thinking about you or something. Had her first chemo today. Okay, guys, I'm going to really go now. I'll talk to you later. Have a great day. See ya.